Hello, everybody. It's a quick stream. I didn't give people much notice. So if there aren't a lot of people here right now, I think that's completely okay. I'm between patients. Hi, love, peace. Good to have you here. It might just be you and I and four other people. That's okay. Sometimes it's nicer to just have the smaller group with us. Well, now it's become 21. Oh well, it'll be a large party again. Hello, Sue, Malik, hi, hey Wims, and Sarah, and Brett, and Natalie, and Phyllis, and Tina, Mystic, Angela. Wow, now we're 40. Awesome. You know, I usually don't start at this hour. Hello, Pina. Ian's here. Woohoo! And we've already got somebody, Pina, who is one of our regulars, and she's going to be doing the moderating. People had asked about how do you moderate. We do it on the super chat, and I just click and make you a moderator if you want to be. And it's just that we want this to be a safe space for everybody, and we accept everybody, different opinions. We don't attack people who don't agree with us, so long as people are respectful. Hi, Eliza and Robin. Linda's here. Yay. Bambi. All right, so the first message that I want to talk about is a meditation that I've done for the last couple of days. And it's a message from Gaia because people are feeling really overwhelmed and they're asking what can they do about the Amazon. And so the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to talk about a meditation I did on Mother Earth, and basically she told us exactly what she wants us to do. So we don't feel like we're floundering and we're alone, and it's okay. We're going to do this together. So one of the things that's been coming to me a lot during the meditations is the importance of kind of contemplating this idea of the mind as being in slavery, in the sense that we may have been convinced in the past that we were powerless or that our choices were limited. And maybe part of the slavery mentality is that we walked around with a lot of shame that didn't belong to us. So one of the first things that we can do if we really want to connect with Gaia is a lot of what Marcia Martin had talked about, the therapist Marcia Martin, when she had talked about the importance of simply connecting with Gaia, spending time sitting on the grass, meditating, and really establishing, first and foremost, a relationship with the earth. Understanding that we all come from the earth, that she is our mother, but also understanding that that is a dynamic relationship. That the best way to teach people how to love the earth is by allowing ourselves to be loved by the earth. The other thing that I saw is that we are moving towards a spirit of cooperation. So while the news may be scary with Donald Trump rolling back methane gas emissions, the good news is that the majority of people on the planet are good. When we think about it, 97% of the planet is made up of empathic people. But 4% have personality disorders. That means the good news is that the majority of us want to live, we want to flourish, we want our families to flourish, and we want the earth to flourish. So now it's simply a question of our choices, our collective choices, and having the information in order to come together as a community to help Gaia. So the first thing she wants us to do is, number one, establish a relationship, spending more time with her, spending more time in nature. When we spend time in nature, when we spend time being in the world, seeing the world, we start to see how wonderful the world is, and then we become determined to make sure that the world survives. So the first thing she talked about was establishing a relationship. The second thing that came from the meditation was the importance of getting our own homes in order. We do want to save the Amazon, but we also have to be mindful of the environmental stresses on the planet in the place where we live. And that means that if you're living in Nova Scotia, if you're living in Seattle, Washington, if you're living in Birmingham, if you're living in Sydney, It doesn't really matter where you're living. The question is your house in order? Are you living in a home that's environmentally friendly? Or are you living in a home that's in conflict with the earth? And if you're doing an environmental assessment, as a naturopathic doctor would want you to do an environmental assessment, you could really do it going from one room to the other. And I always tell people to hit the kitchen last. And that's because the kitchen, human beings we're animals, and we're very, like animals, we're very protective of our food. And when our food choices have to change, we can become very defensive. So you may be somebody who, if you care about Gaia, you want to start in the kitchen last. But I always start in the bathroom first. And that is to simply go through your medicine cabinet, go through your cleaning supplies, your shampoos, etc. Use them up, don't waste, because we really want people to be frugal. But then replace it with a natural option. Natural shampoos that you can make from baking soda and vinegar. You may want to go that route, or you may want to simply start bringing Bronner's soap or some kind of other environmentally friendly soap into the home. The idea is that you will go from one room to another until every single room in your home is environmentally friendly, is friendly to Gaia. And then you share it with other people as you go through that process. You write about it, you blog about it, you talk about it on YouTube. And so you expand your goodness to the rest of the world. You expand your knowledge of becoming environmentally friendly, having an environmentally friendly home to the rest of the world. But it starts with something as simple as your individual choices. And you may feel that you have no power and that you're only one person and that you can't make a difference. But understand that we as consumers, 10,000 consumers that watch this channel and then may themselves have channels, we're talking about a sizable difference. 10,000 people watching this channel. We say theoretically 100 to 200, maybe more, have their own YouTube channels. Some of them are professional readers themselves. They then go on and share this information to another 10,000 people, who then go and share it with another 10,000 people. This is how you build a movement. People, I believe, make better choices when they know what those choices are. So things to be mindful when you do an environmental assessment is anything that contains formaldehyde. Some of the synthetic perfumes are stored with formaldehyde. Looking at the chemicals in the back of a label. Talking to your local co-op, if you have a co-op, joining a local co-op so that you're supporting local businesses. Buying in the bulk bin at Whole Foods is also good. You'll save money. That's one thing. Hi, Noel. Thank you for helping. You can save money by buying in bulk not buying massive amounts, but just measuring it out so you know how much you're buying, and then you can store it in paper bags, and then making things from scratch. And what I do is I make things in large amounts, like tabbouleh. Last night I did a protein tabbouleh. I made it with mung beans and quinoa, so it was high in protein, and then I just added vegetables and made a lemon mint tabbouleh. And it was hot, so I had like a complete protein, and it was vegan, and it was awesome. So for people who then want to move on into the kitchen, you would then start to go through the entire kitchen, removing anything that's not environmentally friendly. If you do have anything that's a plastic container, wash it out, save it, and use it to store things. It can then be a storage container. So same with the glass, wash it out, either recycle it or use it as a storage container. And try not to bring plastic bags in the home if you can help it. Plastic wrap if you can help it. What I do is if I have a bowl, I just put a saucer on top of it, and that's how I store things, just to get off the plastic. So the second thing is to get your house in order. The third thing she wants people to do that came up was volunteering for the environment in your neighborhood. That means that if, say, for example, you live in Seattle and you live next to Green Lake, this is just one example, you could join the local community of people who keep the lake clean and safe, etc. So wherever you are is where you begin. It's this idea of charity begins at home. It begins literally with your home, with your family, with your friends. being in line with what is best for the environment, reducing plastic, reducing animal products, finding out what is the lowest methane diet you can be on, a diet that has the least amount of methane emissions. And the third is to volunteer for programs or organizations, or even work alone that in some way contributes to the ecosystem where you live. And the fourth thing is to donate when we can to environmentally causes. And that includes number 5, being a wise consumer and only shopping and bringing products into the home that are environmentally friendly, and writing the companies you love and saying, I have stopped. You don't have to be hostile, because this is Gaia energy, and it's not quite as aggressive as all of it. We can be nice about it and just say, I love your chocolate bars, but they're in plastic, so I had to stop purchasing them. We can be nice and just say, great, as soon as you become environmentally friendly, I'll start buying your product again, and I'll tell all my friends on YouTube, and we'd love to do business with you. So the 5th thing is to spend, when you spend money, to be mindful of its impact on the environment. And then the 6th is hold leadership accountable. That was the final thing that we could do for Gaia, which is to look at the environmental record of the people that we are hiring, not just the companies, but the people that we are hiring. And if they have a poor environmental record, it determines whether or not we vote for them. So that was the whole meditation. 6 things we can do based on notes I took in the meditative state, that we can all be a part of saving Gaia. If each one of us did that, we would have 10,000 people being part of the change we want to see in the world. Just trees alone this month, if everybody donates $10, that will be 100,000 trees that just the Oracle of Whimsy is going to be, that we can be a part of if we all donate $10. So never underestimate the power of a few who are dedicated to being the change in the world. So I was asked if I could look at the Hurricane Dorian. Not sure what I did with my cards. I'm going to have to step out and grab my cards. But I'm going to be doing a quick card reading. Let me grab the deck just on the environment. Give me just half a second. So you volunteer for what I was seeing in the vision is there's one organization we volunteer at. We just pick one, whether it's an animal shelter or volunteering to clean up a park or helping keep a stream clean. Find some environmentally friendly or animal friendly organization and volunteer, say 1 day a week or whatever, and then pick one charity that's good for the environment. I like AmericanForest.org, but you can pick whatever charity you like that's going to help the planet. Make sure that it's a good charity and it's got a good record. And that's it. That's all Gaia expects from us. Maintain a strong relationship with her. Keep your house in order. Make political statements with our pocketbooks. Volunteer to help Gaia. And donate to organizations that help Gaia. Simple. And spread this information to others. All right, we're going to do a simple prayer. We've got about 20 more minutes here, 25 minutes, and I got to go back in session. Environmental friendly cat litter. Yeah. I mean, I like the Arm & Hammer, no scent, because it's just clay and baking soda. But yeah, absolutely. You just go through everything in your home. You don't have to do it. This is an account and a reckoning of everything in your home for the purpose of being in a closer union with Gaia, basically. If you'd like to find out more about how you can live below your means, happy, healthy, debt-free, in harmony with Gaia, I do have a YouTube channel where I do all of that. It's not this channel, it's that channel. And it's called Broke Aristocrats. And it's based on the values that we talk about here on this channel. Broke Aristocrats teaches us that true aristocracy is how we treat ourselves and others. And we also give special kudos to the survivors, women and men who have been victims of domestic violence, human trafficking, child abuse, child sexual abuse. Those are the royals at Broke Aristocrats. And here at this channel, the people who have really had their life and their ethics and their values challenged, and then fight the good fight and still wind up being awesome, amazing people. So those are the royals. That's our reality here on this channel. But if you'd like to see how a broke aristocrat lives, because we live really darn well, and if you'd like to live with other broke aristocrats, you can check out that channel. And I show you how to do everything from cooking food, which is has either no meat or minimal amounts of meat, organizing your budget, etc. So, and that is an eco-friendly channel. So please also check out Broke Aristocrats. All right, we're going to do a simple prayer. And let's check it out. Let's check out the planet. And we're going to check out how this hurricane is going to go. And then, Catherine Kellogg, 101 ways to have a zero waste home. Absolutely. We can do this. We are 10,000 strong and growing. Yay! And we can spread it to our friends. All right, we're going to do a simple prayer now. I want to call on white light protection for myself and my viewers as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and good angels to be with us. Give us the clarity and wisdom that is needed to empower our viewers, that they make the best decisions for themselves, for the people they love, and for the planet. And with that, I say amen. Let's take a look, people. Nice little flame there. This would be an example of eco-friendly because this is a soy candle and I can go ahead and I can reuse the glass. All right, I want to just check on Hurricane Dorian. I'm feeling like I think we're looking at a possible direct hit. This is that area I was talking to you about last week when I said I was getting a bad feeling about the southeastern United States. Remember that? Yeah. Sorry. I'm just the messenger. What is going on with Dorian? What is going on with Dorian? Base of the matter, the Hierophant and the Sun. So the good news is that we see people coming together, or the ethos is strong with the higher ethos, right? And then the sun coming out. So I feel there's a clarity of mission in the sense that everybody is on the same page. Everybody understands this is an emergency. And I don't see moon card. I don't see gaslighting or confusion about what's going on. This is a good sign, and it means that that the energy is clear, that people seem to be working together. Both are major arcanas. One has to do with the ethos, and one has to do with the sun shining or the truth coming out. Where we are at right now, the wish card, a transformation. So it could be a very, very difficult hurricane, but what's good here, nice star moving in. You can see all these beautiful major arcana cards coming in. This seems to suggest that they will get the aid that they need. A nice Ace of Pentacles in the third house with a star above. Look at all these major arcana cards. And here. The past placement double ace is Ace of Cups with a Knight of Cups. So there has been real efforts made in Florida on a state level to create levees and an environment that's going to be protected. There has been some movement in this area. it hasn't been completely abandoned, not with an Ace of Cups and a Knight of Pentacles, or a Knight of Cups moving in. Confusion now about what to do with a triple aces, Ace of Swords. That's an energy more that people are coming out of than anything else. Hope and fear, the environment. You can see again the water protectors. The environment is the hope and the fear, Seven of Wands, and then the final outcome, Four of Swords. So the good thing that's going to come out of this is a lot of cooperation. You can see all the cups, all the cooperation, all of the mobilization. Unfortunately, it still looks like it could be a very, very, it could be a very serious storm. So it's a mixed bag. On the one hand, it looks like it's a very serious storm. As a remote viewer, it looks like it hits the southeastern side and then goes right into the middle and parts of South Carolina. But it looks like it's going to hit most of Florida, and then it's going to, unless it changes its course, it feels to me like it goes in and it goes in this direction. It's being pushed up like this. So that's a type of remote viewing you can learn if you're trying to do weather, where you put yourself into the eye of the storm in the meditation and you feel where you're being led. So for me, I feel like I'm being pushed out to sea, but I'm also being pushed east. So we could see South Carolina also get hit. All right, so it's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag. All right, what else would people want me to look at? Anything else? It was interesting. I was looking at the weather on Fox 10, Fox News or something, and they did the entire Bernie Sanders when he was speaking. They filmed the entire thing, and I thought that's kind of weird that Fox is showing the entire Bernie Sanders speech that happened today. It's kind of weird. The times are changing. Mar-a-Lago. Let's check to see if Mar-a-Lago is going to be okay. Is Mar-a-Lago going to be okay with the hurricane? Mar-a-Lago going to be hit by the hurricane. That is a big storm. It is getting pushed east, though. I feel I'm carried back out east, so who knows? A new beginning, hanging it up. Ace of Pentacles. He has a lot of insurance. This is somebody who, he's taking care of Mar-a-Lago. This is what he's concerned about. Look at that tower coming in. Yeah, they could see sustained winds damaging glass, windows, etc. at Mar-a-Lago. There could be some glass breakage, windows. There is some problems. Here's Trump's card, but you can see the tower moving in. But they've got a really good insurance, and they've got a really good safety and emergency plan in place. Yeah. Getting out of a bad situation. So it could see some damage, but again, it seems like they have created a certain a foundation where they're going to be okay with an Ace of Pentacles as their first card. So I would say that the guy has great insurance. So if worse came to worse and the whole thing was taken out, he would have great insurance and it would all get rebuilt. I'm sorry, but that's what the cards show. They're probably going to have some wind damage. That's what it looks like. That's right. So he would cash in on the insurance, and it looks like if they do have damage, it looks like it's sustained by the winds, and the foundation might have a little bit of damage, but it's going to be okay. I don't think it's going to cross into Mexico, but I'll go ahead and check. Because I could be wrong. Let's find out. Is the volcano going to be hitting, or excuse me, is the hurricane going to be hitting the Gulf of Mexico? It's going to be hitting the Gulf of Mexico. Is Hurricane Dorian going to be hitting the Gulf of Mexico? Base of the matter. Mastery and Three of Wands. No, this is the southeastern United States. Stress. Heartbreak. Oof. Maybe. Wow, people are really getting it together in terms of levees and protecting the ecosystem. You can see new contracts coming in. I think it's mostly going to be the East Coast. If there's some damage to the Gulf, that doesn't, even though there's some stress about it, that could be another hurricane. This one I just feel keeps pulling me to the east. It keeps pulling me to the east. There was a question about the oligarchs and Trump. Do people want me to look at Donald Trump's cards? I haven't done that in a while. Okay. All right, Spirit, you want to just check on Donald Trump, and also were oligarchs co-signers on his loans, and if so, are we going to find out about it? Let's just take a look. All right, the documents showing that Trump co-signers were Russian oligarchs, and also what the future of Trump is in the near future. If they threaten him with Article 25, that could also get him to resign, because if it's private, then a resignation is more dignified. It's another reason why he would resign. If he has no choice other than to be drug out, resignation is less embarrassing. Also, he might be able to get a deal. It's better than being drug out without a deal. And it's exactly what the Republicans said they were going to do, which is that if he didn't take the deal, they were going to spread a rumor that he was insane. This is what they were telling the Democrats. Get off the Russia thing and go towards the he's crazy. Where he's out right now, feeling strong and stubborn as usual. Two of Swords, one of the most stubborn people I've ever read on. Refuses to move, refuses to see, refuses to change. Thinks he's doing great and sees himself as in a strong position. Harvesting the coin, so he feels like he feels in his mind, he thinks that he is winning again. You can see an Ace of Wands, new business coming in after devastation, gets his wish, double aces. He's concerned that he's losing his loyal backers. He's concerned that the people that supported him have walked out. It's the person who the relationship is going great for him. The guy who's got a girlfriend who he uses to cook and clean and pay his bills. And so things are working great for him, and he can't understand why she's leaving because his life is great. It's that kind of cluelessness. It's that kind of narcissism. The seventh house of Five of Pentacles, getting away from a situation where one feels in exile or removed from the church, the hope and fears that it's over, and the final outcome, the negotiator again, the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Hearts. The clarification. hanging it up. So an offer is giving that results in resignation. Smoother waters. It's the same thing. Yeah, probably I would say, because it's already happened and there's a 10 of swords there, that he most likely did get co-signed by oligarchs, that the feds already know about it because they had access, they followed the money. Even if Mueller didn't, the FBI did. It's not like the Russians have a bunch of tapes and the Americans don't have it. The Russians have a bunch of tapes, the Israelis have a bunch of tapes, the Americans have a bunch of tapes, and the Israelis have handed tapes over to the Americans. And so it's not like there's something being held over President Trump's head that the Americans don't know anything about. It's already happened. What Trump's denial is that he thinks that it's been smoothed out, but it doesn't result in things being smoothed out. It results in some kind of an offer and him hanging it up in resignation. The money, the business, Ace of Wands, that resulted in devastation. So they knew already that this was going on, and they knew that it was very easy to find out who had co-signed his loans. But what's interesting about going into the Deutsche Bank energy is the fact that there were whistleblowers inside the bank that seemed to have reported the activities of Deutsche Bank. People that basically saw illegal activity and started reporting and copying and sending documents of things to feds. That was how Deutsche Bank got found out. It got found out because the employees at Deutsche Bank started seeing illegal activity and then blew the whistle on their own bank. All right, anything else? Are we done? I think we got about 10 more minutes. Stephen Miller. Every time I throw on Stephen Miller, it just shows him leaving and going and working somewhere else. All right, Moscow Mitch. What will be with Moscow Mitch? Is Mitch McConnell going to be reelected? Is Mitch McConnell going to be reelected? Is Mitch McConnell going to be reelected? The base of the matter. Hard at work, strengthening his alliances. In plainer words, there are powerful people I believe he's Kentucky, right? There are powerful people that work for Mitch McConnell, partnerships that are in place that are very old partnerships that would be hard to break with Mitch McConnell. Whether the people want him or not, there's a lot of money and interest and backing. This is professional backing. This is business offers. King of Wands comes in with more offers. Questionable alliances. That's very interesting. You can see the Devil card moving in the 4th house, which could be codependency or unhealthy, and it has to do with business deals. You can see the Devil card moving in. In the past, some kind of legal case. Something legal is over him, feeling defensive about answering questions regarding some kind of a business deal that he seems to have pushed through without appropriate. It seems like they put this deal through without the appropriate agencies, or something about it is causing Mitch McConnell to be defensive about it. Going it alone. Hopes and fears, hanging up the Senate, the final outcome. If he ran today, yes, he doesn't have if it happened today, he'd be reelected with a 6 of Wands as the outcome. His biggest complaint from his constituents are that he didn't do enough for the state and in terms of employment from the state, 6 of Pentacles, and that's the thing that he was working on with these contracts, like the aluminum, etc. If he can get the work to Kentucky, the 10 of Wands, then he'll be successful. It's about employment and the fact that there is high unemployment and low wages in Kentucky. And these employment opportunities seem to be his hope at winning another re-election. I think he's getting too old, though. This is just from his perspective. Whether or not I think he can do another 6 years after completing this year, I think is questionable. But as far as his constituents are concerned, the number one complaint was about the economics and about the type of jobs available to his constituents. And that was the reason why he was pushing for more jobs in Kentucky. The aluminum plant, yeah. So these are not environmentalists predominantly. These are people that just are really struggling financially, and the fact that they didn't feel like he had done enough for the poor in Kentucky or for employment in Kentucky. And so this was a real win for him and for his constituents. And so that's why it's, from his perspective, important that it goes through. Let's go ahead and look at Ivanka. All right. What's going to be with Ivanka Trump? Ivanka Trump. Her partnership could be coming to an end. You can see a partnership, something about partnerships ending, and the Knight of Pentacles is the endings or not going anywhere in a partnership. It could be a business partnership, not necessarily a romantic partnership. She gets her wish regarding a new business arrangement or a new contract. She's feeling currently trapped or tied down in her situation regarding her marriage. It is her marriage. So she's having some stress with her marriage. Sun is moving in for her. She's thinking of leaving, right? There's the East Coast being pulled to the east. What is around her? Her and her husband trying to navigate things to go to a more peaceful environment, the hope and the fear, the job, the business, the Star. They want to move out of DC and move in a different direction. That's actually true. There does seem to be a feeling like what they really want to do and where they really see themselves headed is somewhere else. And I think they miss New York. You can see here the Three of Wands, which is you get your wish, but it's also the East Coast. Wanting to go in smoother waters, one's finances and financial responsibilities, the Star card. Divorce possible. Sorry, they're doing work next door. Honestly, this feels like there's some type of a spiritual work that I'm going to have to close that window, I think. Maybe not. Okay. It's almost like there's a spiritual change that's happening with Ivanka from all of the stress. She seems to be moving away from DC, and if her and her husband can't get on the same page, we could see a separation or a divorce. No, the Koch family said that they will not be supporting Trump. His re-election. They pulled out of his support last year. Let's look at the immigrant children who are sick and if they're going to be forced to leave the country. Maybe we'll see Stephen Miller. You never know. All right, let's take a look. All right, the immigrant children, heartbreak. The sword coming down, victory. This is 4 months. The next 3 to 4 months are going to be legal cases, stays, also threats from lawyers. Going nowhere. The case could go nowhere. A negotiation happens. This is a public. This is a public relations nightmare. The moon card coming in. The people are confused about how to implement the letters that were sent, because the letters that were sent seem to be in violation of certain laws, or it doesn't look like the letters might not be legal. That's what I'm seeing here. It's going to be some kind of, yeah. The lawyers are going to come in. The letters, something about the letters was illegal, and it violates the existing laws and contracts that the people had. So there could be a stay. You can see the Knight of Pentacles is right over it, blocking it. Moon card. Also, there's some confusion about what the actual law is versus what they did. Here's the stress and the emotion around it with the heartbreak. But you can see the Ace of Swords moving in, which is a victory after tears, the eyes opening up, and then hard work, probably from the legal, probably from organizations like ACLU and ACLU, etc. Multiple choices. There's going to be so much backlash that I think that it would be wise for the feds to back off, because they're in violation of many existing laws, and it would just mean more lawsuits. And if you remember the remote view we did last week, Bill Barr, they're pouring so many lawsuits on the Justice Department that they're drowning in lawsuits. And so that's exactly what it looks like is going to happen with these children that were sick that received that letter. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close now because it's 2:53 and I have a 3 p.m. appointment. For people that are trying to get in, yes, I do still have 1 or 2 openings for tomorrow. And I'm here in Los Angeles, so it's Pacific Standard Time. And if you can't get in this week, see me next week. So you can find out how to link up with me, get an appointment with me by going to tarotwithwhimsy.com. I'll leave all the information below. And I'll see everybody tomorrow. Take care of everybody. Take care of yourselves. If you have any more questions, we can address those in the next reading. Right. Take care. Bye.